Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Welcome to In Wheel Time, your place for entertaining car talk. Just ahead, we talk to the regional brand manager for Ram TRX. Conrad has his weekly lesson in the car clinic. And we'll have this week's automotive news. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, better known as Beetlejuice. King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. No, I'm not. I just pretend to be. So glad that you could join us on this Saturday. Do we have our guest yet there, Mr. Mars?
No, sir.
Okay.
We got a technical dish.
Well, here's one for you. This is a story I have been dying to tell.
Oh, gosh.
It's a great story for us radio people, okay?
Which we all are.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
By default, I guess. Ready?
We're not in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
A radio station in Seattle suddenly has a captive audience of Mazda owners after a glitch in its digital broadcast signal fried the electronics in their infotainment system.
Oh,
Mazdas. Mazda dealerships in the area have been inundated with customers who can no longer change the station away from KUOW.
Oh, how funny.
Or do anything else besides turn the volume up and down.
And all the other stations want to figure out how to do that.
Features such as Bluetooth, navigation, and the backup camera have all stopped working. Quote, "They told me that there's nothing they can do about it, that I needed a new CMU unit, that it cost $1,500 and they didn't have the part," according to Dave Welding, who drives a 2016 Mazda hatchback. He told this to the Seattle Times. CMU stands for Connectivity Master Unit, which controls the video and audio signals of the infotainment system. Welding and other owners were confused about what was happening until finding others with the same problem on a Mazda forum of Reddit and discovering that everyone had tuned to 94.9 FM, Seattle's national public radio affiliate, in late January.
That's what you get for listening to NPR. Serves you right.
Isn't that wasn't that the station that the Dusty Muffin was on? I believe it was. Mazda North America operations told GeekWire it has diagnosed the issue and told dealers how to fix it. Dealers have been instructed to submit goodwill requests to Mazda's warranty department and schedule customers for free repairs when the parts arrive.
Which, who knows when that'll be.
Between January 24th and January 31st, a radio station in the Seattle area sent image files with no extension, which caused an issue on some 2014 through 2017 Mazda vehicles with older software, according to Mazda. KUOW, for its part, said it's working with Xperi, the company behind HD radio technology, to investigate the issue, and sheepishly thanked those affected for becoming involuntarily loyal listeners.
As their ratings go up. This has got to be ratings week or something.
Probably. I just thought that was a great story.
That's actually pretty funny. Now all the other radio stations want to figure out how can they do the same thing.
Well, we just said it. They just
send an image file.
Without an extension.
How do you do that with TV?
There's no TV. This is radio.
I know.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for that. Mr. Mars, how are we looking down there?
We're looking better.
Are we even on the air?
Yes, we're looking better.
We are?
We're looking better, but we're not quite there yet.
No.
God almighty. There are some recalls to tell you about besides the Mazdas. Pretty much every Tesla from 2021 through 2022, and 20 models are also included, the windshield may not defrost properly. It may catch on fire, but it doesn't defrost properly.
It'll defrost while it's burning.
Yeah.
Look at the ship off the Azores.
That's right. Kia K900 and the Kia Sportage from 2014 through 2018 could experience a thermal event under the hood, so be aware of that. The suspension may be misaligned in the Porsche Taycan from 2021. All these are recalls. Hyundai Santa Fe Sport, and Santa Fe XL from 2016 through 2019. The ABS unit may cause a thermal event under the hood and an engine fire. Lots of that happening.
So did you hear Mercedes-Benz should be recalling about 800,000 vehicles for a coolant pump that leaks onto something hot that could cause a thermal event. Except they are not issuing the recall because they don't know how to fix it. Honest engine.
They said that?
It's in the engine?
They cannot fix the problem.
They cannot fix it. Okay. Turn the car in. Tesla.
Or send it on a ship to the Azores.
Bahamas.
Tesla's Model 3, S, X, and Y from 2017 through 2022.
That's all of
the
them.
pedestrian warning sound may be obscured.
Yeah. Hey, get out of the way! I'm coming through. Well, and that's got to be a bit of an issue in any EV because they don't make any noise to speak of.
Right.
And pedestrians.
Have you heard the sound that the Tesla makes when it's in gear and it's sitting around like there's waiting for a pedestrian? It has a little sound to it. So you can tell. Yeah. Except yours is more along the lines of that's what yours is. And by the way, I think that you can actually download that in a Tesla and use that as the horn honk if that's what you want.
There are electric vehicles you can download like a 429.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of noises you can bring in.
Brake fluid reservoir has been mounted incorrectly in the Mercedes Metris from 2016 through 2021.
That's their small minivan.
Yeah,
He had one.
that's right. I did. So brake fluid reservoirs mounted incorrectly. Now, how do you do that when you build a brand new car? I made a mistake. I put it where the
Or I put it sideways instead of vertical.
yeah.
Upside down.
Seatbelt pretensioner may explode in the Hyundai Accent from 2020 to 2021. And the internal transmission leak may cause a rollaway in the BMW. Are we keeping you up?
Not at all.
Okay. BMW 330i, 530i, BMW X3 and X4 from the 2022 model years, and those are the recalls. There's lots of them. So the way to find out if your car is being recalled, you go to safercar.gov and type in your VIN number, which you can find on the car, usually up there at the dash and the windshield.
Easier to find it on your insurance card.
On your insurance card, yep. It makes it a whole lot easier. So there's another recall. Again, it's another Tesla recall.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, I should say it's not a recall. They've opened an investigation to assess the potential safety issues in certain Tesla vehicles after reports alleging phantom braking. NHTSA officials, the Office of Defects, said it has received more than 354 complaints in the past 9 months for the unexpected brake activation. The safety probe covers an estimated 400,000 Tesla Model 3 and Y vehicles from 21 to 22. Complaints allege that while using autopilot's features such as adaptive cruise control, the vehicle unexpectedly applies its brakes while driving at highway speeds. And Mars, I have to ask you, because Mars and I get new cars every week, and I have had some cars with regular engines, gasoline engines.
And the adaptive braking system.
Yes, where all of a sudden you're going down the freeway at 70 miles an hour with the cruise control on, and it starts braking for no reason.
Well, there's a reason, but they don't necessarily know what it is. There's sensors, sometimes they're cameras, sometimes they're radar, sensors on the front of the vehicle that are looking for distance markers, and based on your speed and that distance, and it's trying to gap that distance. The faster you go,
but
it wants a wider gap.
There is nothing in front of me. Nothing.
Could be a bug, could be, a piece of trash or a leaf or something gets on one of those sensors and the car reacts to it.
Well, it's very annoying.
It is. I've got one on my truck that when it rains, the right front, for whatever reason, when it rains, it'll come up and tell me I'm too close to something. And I could be doing 30 miles an hour down the road, whatever. It just, the mud, the sludge, something triggers it. Don't know what.
The eyeball's dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
and those automatic braking systems are designed to react when you're not paying attention.
Well, we've managed to kill 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, Eduardo's here in voice only.
Voice
It's
only.
okay.
Eduardo, it's good to hear you. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Eduardo Golista, he is the regional Ram brand manager. Well, how are things with the Ram brand and the shortage of chips and all of the other issues that are getting parts, all of that, I would imagine you're being affected like everybody else.
We are being affected like everybody else, but we are adapting like everybody else. You know, we're managing to build the trucks, adapting the content as needed, and they're there.
Eduardo, where are Ram trucks built?
The Ram 1500 is built here in Michigan, actually, at the Sterling Heights assembly plant.
Sterling Heights. Very nice.
Yep.
What is the largest selling 1500? What trim package is the largest selling Ram 1500 that you're currently running down the assembly line?
Well, we've got two customer favorites, I would say, the Bighorn and the Laramie.
So the Bighorn here in Texas would be called the Texas edition, I believe. Am I correct? Is that it?
Texas
Yes,
or Lone
sir.
Star, one of the two.
Yeah, Texas
Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Yeah.
Of course, in addition to these two, the Bighorn and the Laramie, I said those are the ones that are sold the most. But of course, everybody's got their favorite, right? If you ask me, the Rebel.
Well, you know,
Totally off-road.
yeah, I agree.
That's my type of truck.
Yeah, and how about the new TRX, the bad boy of all of the Ram trucks?
That is interesting because I was just about to mention the TRX. You know, that's everybody's favorite. Everyone's it's caught the attention of all the market. Everyone's waiting for it. Everyone's all excited about these new Ignition edition. It's a special edition that's limited production. Everybody's all excited about it, and yes, I don't blame them. But for me, my favorite, the Rebel. But the TRX. And then while I'm on the topic, this year in 22 model year, we launched a unique edition. It's orange. We call it the Ignition edition. Pretty cool version of the TRX.
Well, and one of the things Ram Truck has done through the years is you guys have done this built to serve edition trucks. You did Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, I think Coast Guard. And then in 2023, you guys are going to do a firefighter, police officer, and emergency medical service provider special edition vehicle dedicated to those job duties.
Yeah, correct. That was actually one of the things that we announced last week, actually, at the Chicago Auto Show, right? As you mentioned, this is the second phase of our Built to Serve series, which we launched last year to honor each branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. And this year, 22 model year, we are actually doing the first responders, right? So the firefighters was what we showed at the Auto Show last couple of weeks ago. And then we will have later this year the police version and the EMS. Now these are we were just talking about the Bighorn. These are based off a Bighorn trim level, and but they do have elements that are unique to these versions, right? For example, the one that we showed last week, it's got a unique low volume exterior color, which it's called Redline. It's a pearl coat called Redline. Now, in addition to that red line, it also is available in diamond black. And of course, in the interior, it has also exclusive features like orange stitching on the seats and black onyx interior accents, all-weather slush mats, a built-to-serve emblem on the instrument panel, and something that I think is pretty cool. They are ready to display their owner's first responder pride, because it has embroidered Velcro panels on the seat back and on the sides of the seats, so you can just attach your own patches, nameplates, slogans, whatever, right?
From your department.
It's very cool. Yeah, exactly, from your department. So pretty cool content on the interior there. The exterior, as I mentioned, it's got unique paints, and then it also has the American flag on the rear panels. with, of course, the built to serve decal.
And to me, it's just the uniqueness of a special edition vehicle. Even the previous ones that are going to, over time, I believe, will have some collectability to them because the production numbers aren't going to be real big, and that vehicle is going to be, very special, emotional connection for a lot of folks.
I agree with you. They were very well received for each one of the branches of the armed services, and now we assume that the same thing is gonna happen with these 3 new special editions.
Didn't we read something recently about some EVs, a Ram EV?
Yes, sir. So we've been talking a lot about electric vehicles, right? And we've also made some announcements about this thing called the Ram Revolution, which is something that I wanted to share with you and with your audience this morning. The Ram Revolution campaign. Let me go back a little bit in history here to explain what it is. So we launched the Ram brand as a standalone brand in 2009, right? And when we launched it, we pretty much revolutionized what a truck can be. And by the way, this is not just me saying this. There are several awards and recognitions that back this up, right? In 2021, the Ram brand was named #1 in new vehicle quality by J.D. Power through their initial quality study. The only truck exclusive brand to ever achieve these. And anyway, this is just one example. I don't want to get too sidetracked here. The list of awards and recognitions is long, but back to Ram Revolution. So after having redefined what a truck can be, now Ram is on a mission to revolutionize what an electric truck can be. Remember, we announced that by 2024 we will launch an electric pickup truck, right? So we launched the website ramrevolution.com. First, it gives Ram customers the opportunity to follow our progress, get an inside look at our developments in this journey towards electrification. And second, and this is the really cool part, it allows customers to have input on the process as we develop the EV trucks, right? So that these trucks end up meeting their real world needs. So anyway, when we say Ram Revolution, we are talking about EV, but not just talking about EVs, which is what you just mentioned, right? But by revolution, we also mean that we are evolving in the way in which we develop trucks, right? Literally opening a communication channel with our customers. And this is really, by the way, in line with what we were just talking, right? It's really in line with the build to serve philosophy.
Well, I mean, I have to say that I read that story, and I'm pretty excited about it myself because it allows your customers to actually talk to the factory and say, this is what I would like to see on the electric Ram. And I don't believe any other manufacturer is doing that. I know that they do focus groups and that sort of stuff, but doing focus groups is one thing, but allowing everybody in the world basically
to
input their thoughts about what they would like to see in an electric vehicle is major, and especially those people that are familiar with electric and they are waiting for Ram to come out with an electric. Because let's face it, I mean, Ford has already sold out their vehicle, their electric truck, the Lightning. And I think that Chevrolet is on the way to doing the same thing. And, what I like about Ram is that I still believe that Ram has the nicest interior. And do you futz with the interior? That's a word, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Real word?
Now, futz, with an interior that is already the best in the business. And if you do want to make a change to it to do whatever it is you want to do in your electric vehicle, what is that going to be? How is that going to parlay into a new dash arrangement?
Well, and that's why they're asking the customers to give them that kind of input so they know that the changes that they make are going to be desirable by the buying public.
Right. I will tell you that just recently I had a Ram truck, and when we first came out with the rotary shift knob in it, everybody goes, "Oh man!" But I'll tell you what, I prefer it myself. I'm currently driving a vehicle that has buttons that you have to pull for drive. You have to pull the knob or the button for reverse and that sort of thing. And I much prefer the rotary knob. And it's those little touches like that to me will sell me on a vehicle much more so than anything else, really.
It's very, very a very, very Ram feature, right? But you know what? In case somebody is not crazy about that rotary shifter, this year we did launch the GT editions. They are special versions of our Rebel and of our Laramie, and these trucks have the shifter on the center console.
Very nice.
The rotary.
So yes, so it does allow for those that want to buck the system and buck the trend.
Exactly.
To be able to say, "Oh, I got my shift knob out there in the center console, and I like it."
That's a Texas thing.
Yeah. It is a Texas thing. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's pretty exciting stuff you got going for you, Eduardo. It's great to talk to you, Regional Ram Brand Manager, and we thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday day off.
Thank you so much, and go check us out at ramrevolution.com. And have a good day, everyone.
You do the same. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, time now for Conrad's Car Clinic here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. And I don't know whether you did this last week or not. Did we put you off last week?
Well, no. Yeah, you put me off last week, but that's okay. I'm kind of changed my topic. I was going to talk about.
You did change your topic.
Yeah, I did change my topic. I was going to.
And I changed my underwear. How do you think of that?
Well, my old topic was sludge, so maybe there's a reason for it. But my new topic is, and it's kind of in the vein of what we go through here every Saturday morning.
Oh, God.
Is internet connection, data. You know, at some point we put out so much video that we exceed the data limits of our programming. And self-driving vehicles could easily overwhelm the current data center market available out there. You know, auto manufacturers are making unprecedented investments in electric vehicles in response to the consumer demands and climate trends. Those investments are laying the groundwork for more self-driving or autonomous vehicles. As the EV market growth is an important indicator, the self-driving technology combines with that, and that widespread adoption of self-driving EVs faces several significant barriers, including social acceptance, safety, regulatory restrictions. But another major challenge that's often overlooked is the monumental impact these vehicles will have on data. You know, the self-driving vehicles are expected to generate unthinkable amounts of data that'll have a profound impact on the markets for the data center, the Wi-Fi systems,
Cloud.
that are out there, the 5G. And there's an enormous chasm between the existing data infrastructure and what's going to be needed for widespread adoption of self-driving vehicles. Without major technological advancements in the data computing and storage process, it's unlikely that the industry will be able to handle the deluge of data self-driving EVs will generate. The projected impact of autonomous vehicles on data centers is stunning. According to the Automotive Edge Computing Consortium, self-driving EVs eventually may need to offload as much as 5,000 gigabytes per hour of operation.
Wow.
And what do we want? 5 gig to go up for 3 hours and we can't get there?
We can't even get the signal to be shoved up the 5
shoved up your
gigabytes.
gig.
When was the last time we had we got up for a 5 gig?
So to put that into perspective, in 2020, the average person worldwide generated about 150 gigabytes of data per day. Extrapolating those numbers implies the annual global data sphere will surge from 64 zettabytes, because gigabyte isn't enough. Now it's zetta. That's the 30 exponential.
Wasn't that a girl that had a golden skirt? Zeta.
Gosh,
wasn't it?
but the surge from
something
64
like that.
zettabytes in 2020 to an eye-popping 15,000 zettabytes in 2035 just because of self-driving vehicles. Because you got to remember, these autonomous vehicles don't just create data for themselves. They're talking with all of these other cars, so positionally they know where they are, what they're doing, what their motion is and stuff. So all of that data, I just don't think the infrastructure.
It's kind of like the Texas power grid.
Oh boy.
You know, that they've kind of propped up temporarily. Because, last year...
it's election.
Yep.
It's election time. Because last year, power went down across the state of Texas and killed, 241 people?
That happened this week, a year ago.
Yeah. And so there's that.
Think about as all these autonomous vehicles come on, how is it going to work as it passes through a data desert, so to speak? If it drives in front of your house where there is no internet,
Correct.
they're all just going to
Even though there's a 5G thing that took them about 9 months to put on the top of that telephone pole that's less than a block from my house.
All these EVs are going to just die in front of your house.
Yeah, that's right. They won't know what to do. Uh-huh.
No,
Kind of like this morning's broadcast.
Exactly. So
They're going to get a bowling alley.
Yeah, but if you think about it, because most of them have got their own 4G Wi-Fi setup, that's how they're going to talk to each other. They're not going to need all this external stuff.
The problem with that is by the time this happens, 4G is not going to work. Look at, I talked about it last week, 3G is going away and they're starting to shut down 3G. And that's going to have an impact on, I think it was Subaru's, built-in system of everything, but it's also their built-in system to advise that the vehicles had an airbag deployment. That all stops when 3G goes away.
Yeah.
So as the 4G and the 5G and the 6G and the oh my G becomes issues, OMG becomes issues, that's going to be a real problem.
So
Going
would
to
this
take a
be-
quick... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just say, with this down the street, would that be technically a G-spot?
It would be. And it's time now for a quick break.
We waited for
You're
that.
on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Saturday, March 19th, 2022 is the premiere of the all-new Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos kicks off a new seasonal format, and first up is the Spring Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m., Saturday, March 19th. Tailpipes and Tacos will award trophies for the best hot rod, best classic, and best modern classic, so make plans now. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise in, and this is where you'll enjoy seeing the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, along with Lupi Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and all cars will automatically compete for custom Lupi trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Get your ride ready for the all-new Spring Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, March 19th. It's going to be a huge car show, and spectators are welcome. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Let's celebrate the arrival of spring and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, March 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In-Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In-Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. If you're in charge of your company's small, medium, or large business anywhere in the U.S., let the On Hold Company help you retain customers and promote your business on your telephone system. Promote special sales or company info when placed on hold. The On Hold Company provides custom on-hold messages with professional male or female voices, licensed background music with no long-term contract, no monthly recurring bill, and updates your messages as needed. Call the On Hold Company at 713-223-HOLD or go to onhold.net. That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.